the most basic of the Excel functions. Um, I don't think whether there's something that we're left on the other side. So for us to continue from there. So allow me to introduce this. So in this question, we're going to handle what we call the three major Excel functions, which is the VLOOKUP, the XLOOKUP, and the HLOOKUP. So V, X, and H. Okay. So we try to differentiate between the three. What is the difference of where can you apply them? Of course, at the end of the day, they tend to solve the same thing. So they tend to solve same thing. So let's confirm that we have this. I shared it on WhatsApp. So if you don't have it, please let us know so that we can be in a position to share with you. Now, when you talk about this data, it tends to be more of a little bit similar to what we did, but you can confirm that it tends to be a little bit bigger than whatever that we are handling for the students. So if you scroll down, it is going up to page, not page, but row 501. So meaning the data that we have is of around 500 employees. Okay, it's around 500 employees, and actually, this can be also a small data or a medium-sized data. So it can be even bigger than this. You can even have 1,000 or 2,000 data for you to analyze. So basically, once you've been provided with this kind of a data, you need to study the data that you have so that at least you understand it before you start answering any question. Before you start answering any question. Now, for example, you have the employee ID. So, for example, if you're working, you understand that people are given the employee IDs. Okay, so basically, for identification with the employer or something like that. So we have the employee name. So in this case, we're just using it, we're just numbering like that. Then we have the department where these employees are working. So so basically, we are seeing the department, then you're looking at the region, then you're looking at the quarter, which is first quarter, second, third, and fourth quarter. Then the sales maybe that employee is having and the bonus that this employee is receiving from the sales. Okay. Now, in this case, now we want to look at, so generally you can tell that maybe these employees are working in several. There's a way you can tell. I don't know. Are you in a position to tell how many regions do we have? Are you in a position to tell how many regions do we have and how many departments do we have? Somebody, somebody, very fast, very fast. How can we tell the number of regions?
Mwalimu, can I talk?
Yes, please.
You can use the unique function or remove duplicates.
Yeah. So we can use either of the two. Okay. The unique is to remove anything that is repetitive. Okay. Or you can use duplicate. Iko hapa juu. Okay. So we can either use that for us to tell whether how many do we have here. For example, the regions and also the department. Um, so the same case, if somebody is asking about the quarter, So you can be in a position to tell how many quarters do we have. So for example, if you don't know how, so you see, remember, you cannot just drag down for you to start looking for quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, like that. Mombasa, how many are they? Then Eldoret, like that. Okay. So there's a simpler way that you can use the Excel to determine the unique, and it eliminates the repetitions. Okay. Now, before we go that, now we want to go direct and try to see how can you use the X lookup, the V lookup, and the H lookup. So before then, I want us to test whether we have these key functions in the Excel that we have. Okay. So I want you to press and say equal sign V lookup. So just place like that and see whether you're going to get that. I think most of the Excel should accept this. Please confirm if we are able to see VLOOKUP. If you don't, let us also know. Now, once you confirm that, I want you to try to look for HLOOKUP. Okay. So you need to confirm HLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP. Something that some might not have is what we call the XLOOKUP. Maybe this one I can expect confirmation. How many have it? How many have XLOOKUP? AMA. How many don't have? You can use that word. How many don't have XLOOKUP? Equal sign XLOOKUP. How many don't have? You can unmute. How many don't have that? All of us we have XLOOKUP.
No, don't have.
These don't have. But these do you have HLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP?
Yes, I am.
You have the
Yes.
two. Okay. Who else? Somebody else to confirm. Chiri, you have the three? Okay. Now, this is a way we're going to. So, if you don't have, it's just about the version of the Excel that you're using. So, there's nothing wrong with that. So, if you can upgrade that Excel, then you'll be in a position to see the X lookup. But we're not going to leave you behind. We're going to use the two, which is the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, and try to see how can we solve the same thing. Now, for example, I've tried to look for some few questions here. Allow me to admit somebody here. Okay. Now, I've tried to look for some few questions that we need to answer. One of the questions is find the employee's bonus using the employee ID. Okay. Return the region using the employee name. These two, we're going just to confirm, compare the VLOOKUP and versus the XLOOKUP errors. Between VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, which one is more superior, and what can you use to tell which one is the more modern? Okay, if I can use that word. Use if error. I think most of us have used if error. Okay, so for example, when you get not applicable, and either you want to replace with a blank space, okay, you use that. Okay, ama yes or no, you also use that. I am going to show you on how to use the if error function. Then create a salary analysis by department. So in other words, how much are these people going to earn per department wise? Okay, so in this case, we are going to analyze. We can use we can use the sum ifs, or we are going to use the pivot. Okay, if you look at the insert here, we have the pivot table. We are going to look at how we can do that. So that is the part of the introduction, and we want to see how do we apply the X. Let's start with the H VLOOKUP. How do we apply the VLOOKUP? How do we apply the H lookup? Okay, and how do we apply the X lookup? It is is very simple. It is very simple. So for VLOOKUP, most of the time the table has to be vertically arranged. Okay. For you to use the VLOOKUP, the table has to be vertically arranged. Of course, you're going to know what does it solve at the end of the day. Okay. Now, number two, for when I talk about the table, I'm talking about the table array. Okay, we're going to see what is a table array. Then when you talk about the H lookup, is when the table should be or is being arranged in an horizontal way. I think for us who did maybe geography, we are able to see maybe not only geography, even maths, we're able to see the vertical, then the horizontal. Okay, so if the table is being arranged in an horizontal way, okay, you cannot use the VLOOKUP, but you can definitely use the H lookup. Okay. Then, so we have said the VLOOKUP is when you're using, when the table array is arranged vertical. But in the instance whereby the table is arranged horizontal, you're going to use the H lookup. Now, the X lookup doesn't doesn't follow any rule of these two. Okay, so whether the data of the table is arranged vertically or it is arranged horizontally, you can use Xlookup comfortably. Okay, so that's why the Xlookup is being used. Is being used. It is more advanced than these other two. Okay, so if you want to solve a question that requires you maybe to use a VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, you can definitely use the XLOOKUP to solve. So this one does not follow how the table is being arranged. So when you talk about the table, this is the kind of the table I'm talking to. Okay, so in this case, this table here, it is being arranged in what? It is arranged in vertical. Okay, but also I can rotate this, I can transpose this so that it is arranged in what? In horizontal. Okay, so in this case, if I'm given a question, okay, I cannot solve this question using the H lookup. I can only use either the V lookup or the X lookup. Okay, but if this question I can transpose it to horizontal, then I can definitely use what you call the H lookup. Okay, so I wanted to understand the differences on how we interchange these three functions. Okay, so one, I've said the VLOOKUP is being used when the table array, this table, so I want you to just mark this as a table array, is arranged vertically. Then the H lookup is when this table is arranged horizontally. So we're going to see how can we arrange this table horizontally for us to solve our question. So we have said the X lookup is the more modern, okay, or is just a more advanced function that outweighs these other two, which is the VLOOKUP and the XLOOKUP. So it doesn't follow any rule. In other words, it doesn't matter how this table is being arranged. So that is very important. That is very important. So that said, by the way, in BDA we don't have notes, so maybe I don't know. You can note something small on how you can have that. But as time goes by, you literally understand what we are doing. Now, for example, in this case here, we have the department and we have the manager, then we have the budget. Okay. Now, I want us to solve one thing. So we want to match, for example, the department with the manager. So for example here, when you want to see this operation, okay, this operation is a department, okay, who heads or who is the manager of what? Of operations. Is who? Is Esther. Okay. So when you're using the X lookup and the V lookup, you're trying to solve an issue whereby, for example, if I want to merge the department with the managers, remember I can simply come here and start typing. So for example, I can type Esther. Okay. Then I can come and type, for example, in finance is what? Is Alice. So I can come and type Alice. Okay. But you can tell these are how many? These are 500 employees. What time will you finish typing like that? Maybe it is manual. You can go to manual way and solve that. Okay. Now that's why we need this VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP to solve our issue so that we match the department with the manager. Okay. So in this case, our VLOOKUP, okay, in this case, has to be the department VLOOKUP value. So for example, if you come and say equal sign VLOOKUP, okay, then it is going to ask you for the lookup value. Okay, so the lookup value is what we're using. What we know is the department. Okay, what we don't know or what we're looking for is the managers. Okay, so the lookup value most of the time is what you already have here. Okay, then you're trying to look for the manager, so this is what is the unknown. Okay, so then this is what you're trying to solve. You need to come here and look for the manager. Okay, like that. So in this case, so to solve the issue of you trying to type all through, you can use the VLOOKUP. And we have said the reason we are using the VLOOKUP is because this table here is arranged vertically. And also, I want to emphasize most of the students get this wrong, that most of the time you have to be given the table array separate. No, you cannot be given, it's not most of the time you cannot be given the table array to be separate. Okay, you can be given actually within here. You can be given within. We are going to do another example. The same, we are going to use the same data here that you can solve within. So it's not a must that the table array has to come in another worksheet. No, it can be still within. But this one is just to demonstrate how easy is it to get the figures when the table array is arranged separately. Because the reason we are arranging this is so that at least we can convert this table to horizontal. Then we can be in a position to demonstrate that. Most of the time, rare occasions I see question testing the HLOOKUP. Rare occasions. I'm not saying that they cannot test, but rare occasions. So most of the time they try to test the VLOOKUP. So even if it is the three-way order matching, most of the questions they come testing the VLOOKUP. I don't know up to there whether we have tried to distinguish between the HLOOKUP, the VLOOKUP, and the XLOOKUP. Are we okay up to that extent? Somebody to confirm before we embark on doing this. Just one person to confirm, then we're good to go.
Mwalimu, bado na about
Sorry?
X lookup.
Pardon about the XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP. Now, I'm saying the XLOOKUP doesn't obey any rule. Allow me to use that. Okay. So whether this table is arranged horizontally, whether it is arranged vertically, you can use the XLOOKUP comfortably. Okay. So that's what I want to illustrate for now. That the XLOOKUP doesn't follow any format of the table. Is that okay, Daisy? It can be arranged vertically. You can still, so in other words, the XLOOKUP supplements the two. Okay. Whether the table is arranged in vertical, you can use XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. If it is arranged horizontally, you can use XLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Okay. So
Yes,
the XLOOKUP can,
it's okay right now.
yes, it can solve either what the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP can solve. Thank you for that. Um,
Thank you.
another question before we do this. Okay. Now, if you don't have a question, I want us to start with looking for the manager. looking for the manager, but I want us to use the VLOOKUP, the VLOOKUP like that. Okay, so we are starting with that. We are starting with that. We're starting with that. We're starting with that. Now, in this case, I want us to be keen here. We come and say equal sign VLOOKUP. I think we have agreed why I'm using VLOOKUP. It is because the table array is arranged vertically. Okay, so let's start with that. Now, the VLOOKUP, if you put VLOOKUP, it is asking you to look for the lookup value. Okay, so our lookup value has to coincide with what we have here. Okay, as the first column, this one here. Okay, so this is where our lookup value is going to come from. So if I come back here, I cannot take the employee to be the lookup value. No. Okay, so it has to be the department. Now if I come to the because anyway, in other words, what we are matching with, we want to see in operations who is the manager, in finance who is the manager, in sales who is the manager, in HR who is the in IT, like that. Okay, so that's why we are using the lookup value to be from the department. Now I come and say equals to the VLOOKUP, like that. So my lookup value is the C2. Somebody will ask me, why am I not picking C3, C4? Okay, we always take the first one so that it is easier for us to drag down to get the answers. So there's no reason I cannot come here and start with maybe cell C17. Okay, because once I get the answer, how will I drag it down? So it's good to start with the first one so that it is easier for you to drag the answers down, like that. Now, equal sign the table array. Now, the table array, you can bear witness with me that it is on the second worksheet. So if I click the second worksheet down here, see what is happening up here. So this one should not worry you. What it has done is just it has picked the worksheet name, it has put the quotes, then the exclamation mark. So in other words, it is telling you where you are obtaining the table array from. Is that okay? As simple as that. As simple as that. Now, after I've done that, I come and highlight the whole of this. After this, I'm going to tell you how we can convert this to a table. We convert it to a table, basically. Okay. So once I highlight the whole of this, okay, there's something I want to demonstrate. If I highlight the whole of this, then put a comma, okay, it is asking me for the column index number. The column index number. So what are we looking for? Is the manager, is it? So in this case, the manager is in which column on the table? On the table. The manager is in which column from the table? Remember, our table has how many columns?
3,
3. Okay. Now, the manager is in which column?
2,
2. Correct.
Column 2.
Column 2. So I put 2, then I put a comma. Now, this is what we call, if you put a comma, it is asking whether it is true, which is approximate match, or false, which is exact match. Okay. When do we use somebody to mute? When do you use approximate match? Okay. Most of the time, when you're dealing with figures that you don't want to get the exact figure, the specific exact figure, that's the time you use the true, which is the approximate match. But in this case, We want the exact match, not the approximate. Remember, if it is finance, we want nothing less than Alice to be the manager in finance. Okay? So we cannot say anything that is approximate to Alice. Okay? So it has to be the exact match. So in this context, it should be. So if I'm seeing finance, I should see Alice. If I'm seeing department for HR, I should see Brian. Okay? So nothing in between. It should be exact match. So in this case, I'll choose the exact match, which is the false. Okay? Then if I click enter, okay, you're seeing the error. Are you seeing the error? Are you getting the error like mine?
Yangu
Um,
imeleta jina
Yako imeleta nini?
Esther.
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 Somebody else?
Yes. Esther.
Yangu pia imeleta Esther.
Yako pia imeleta Esther. Somebody else?
Even mine.
Esther.
Esther. Okay. Now I'll tell you why mine has brought an error. Let me delete this. I want you to tell me your how can you call this? Because I can't. I have to delete for me to go back. What is the labeling of your table? How can you? The table is between which range? Your table is between which range?
D2 to D2.
B2 to
D2.
wait. You see row
Mine is between B2 to D7.
B2
D7.
to D7.
Mm.
Okay. Somebody else?
From B2 to B7.
B2 to
To B7.
D7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
B2 to D7.
yeah. So that is how basically we are supposed to label our tables. So how do you take that? So you take this one at the top right here, which is B2, then D7. So in other words, is it vertical or horizontal? No, diagonal. Okay. So the labeling is this diagonal here. Okay. So the first cell is B2. Okay. The last one is D7. Okay. Now let me try to do this a little bit. So we have said the VLOOKUP is we have said is operations, comma. Then the table array, I come and highlight this like that. So I need to see this B2 to
To
D7,
D7.
okay, comma. The column you have said is 2, then exact match, okay. Then you'll be in a position to get the name Esther, okay. Does it coincide with what is on the table array? Operation is Esther.
Esther.
I'm seeing that. Now, I want us to drag down. I want us to drag down. Just drag. You can double click for those who know that. You can double click and see what happens down. This, it ends,
Yeah.
the figures ends at debit. Is it?
Yes.
Yes. Then from there, we are getting not applicable. Is it true that this guy here, who is the head of sales, he doesn't have a name? I'm a HR.
No, it's not.
He has a name. Somebody, I think somebody can tell us what transpired. Why is it that we don't have the names for these are what transpired.
We
Somebody?
never locked.
Ah, good. We did not lock what? Somebody? We didn't lock what?
Table array.
I think we will lock the data,
The data.
the column C or what?
Sorry?
The table array. Not
Department.
locked.
Yeah. We didn't lock the table array. We said we can mute. You can mute, please. We 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 said that this information, Esther, David, Alice, we are getting it from the table array. Okay? And we categorically said that this table is between B2, okay, to D2. Okay? So which should be
2D7.
so in other words, we need B2, okay, to D7. Sorry.
7.
Yes, to D7. So this is our table. Okay. So if we get any other table array that is not within this, then it means the answer cannot be right because this table has to be constant the way we explained earlier. So for example, let's look at Alice. If we look at Alice, what do we have? We have B3 to D8. Is it? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
It is B3 to D8, which is, if you go to the table array, B3 is this one. Okay? Let me maybe put another color here. This one, this is B3. Okay? D8 is here. Are you seeing the table that we are using here? This is the table. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are excluding, of course, the department. I think also that's why we have the correct answer for the first one. If you look at the first one here, we have the answer to be Alice. Actually, if you go here, Alice is the manager for finance. Is it? This is finance. So this one, okay. I
Yes.
want us to pick number 21. Okay. This employee 1020 with ID number 1020. Okay. This guy here, the table array is B21 to D26. I think that
Yes.
B21 to D26. Let's look at that. We have said B21 is here. So this is our table array. Okay. D26 here. I think that. So this is where we are getting our data from. Is there any information? No. I think that.
Nothing.
So there's nothing here. So that is why
Yes.
we are having not applicable going down because we are not referring to. You remember also the way we were doing for the students where we had to lock the column for us to rank
Yes.
fairly. So it's the same case here. Okay. So you cannot get data because this table has moved from B2 and the D7 to B21, D26, whereby we don't have any data. So that's why we are experiencing not applicable here. So then, how do we do it? Then how do we do it? So we need to delete that. By the way, maybe I can teach you this. How to delete very fast. So instead of highlighting the whole of this, of course, with the mouse you can do it very fast. You can simply uh, click the first one, Control Shift drop down arrow. Okay, then you delete. It will be easier for you. Okay, So let me repeat once again. So you take Control Shift drop down arrow, then you delete button. Okay, so you'll be in a position to delete that. Now let's repeat that. So we come and say equals to
Mwalimu,
sorry, somebody speak.
mine I tried to enter
Sorry,
blocking and brought all the names.
sorry.
My manager brought all the names without even blocking it. I don't have not applicable.
You are sorry. You don't have not applicable.
Yes.
You must have locked, is it? Or you converted?
I did not
You did not.
lock.
You converted the table.
No, I did not.
How possible is it? What did you use? That's interesting. Sorry.
I used to look up the same formula you just used.
That's interesting. Okay. I don't know. Will you be up? Maybe you will share screen with us so that we see that. Now let's finalize this. I think we'll go back to her and see what could have happened. Now, if you come and say equal sign VLOOKUP like that, then we choose the lookup value. So we have said the lookup value is C2. Okay. You put a comma. The table array is on the department lookup. You highlight this, the whole of it. Then mtu anachapa machine. Now, once you highlight, you'll see B2 to D7. Okay. B2 to D7. B2 to D7. Okay. Then you can lock it. We said, except I think my machine and Chiri, others, if you click F4, it locks automatic. So we are not going to use partial locking, but full locking. So I'm going to click Fn F4. Okay. I'm going to click Fn F4. You see, it has introduced the dollars. So ensure it introduced the dollars on B, before B and before 2, before D and before 7. Okay. Once you have that, you put a comma, then the column remains to be the same. It was 2. Then exact match. So what has changed is just locking, nothing else. It's just locking, nothing else. And we're good to go. Do you have Esther?
Yes.
Good. Now, double click here, see whether you are having the results. You should be in a position to have the results. You should be in a position
Yes.
to have the result. Thank you. Somebody lost? Somebody lost. Somebody lost. Somebody lost. Please confirm before we continue. Please confirm before we continue. Tuko sawa? Now,
Sawa.
good, thank you.
Nimefanya
Sorry?
mine si iko na problem na nimefanya manually iko sawa.
Good. Oh yeah, putting the dollars.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Now, for you want to see how can you use Xlookup to get the same result. Xlookup to get the whether it was Esther or Daisy who had an issue with Xlookup. So maybe you can um, you can go and try to update the Excel. Update you have the function, but it's not something to worry about. But it's good for you to have it.
Mimi. Nani? Ni mimi mwalimu.
No, no, no. I'm talking about. I think it was Esther who was having an issue of not finding X lookup with the Excel that she has. Now, when you talk about the X lookup, we simply come and say equal sign X lookup like that. This one, it will still ask you for the lookup value. Okay, it is going to ask you for the lookup value. So the lookup value remains to be the same, which is this one. I put a comma. It instead of asking for the table array, it is asking for the lookup array. If you see, there's some similarity between the lookup value and the lookup array. In other words, what it means, where you are going to find the lookup value, that range is what we are looking for. Okay, so I go to the debt department lookup. I choose this. This is what you call the lookup array. Okay,
From finance to operations.
you can do the whole.
Oh,
You can do the whole. Then, because we said simply, we need to lock it, is it? So let's lock
Yeah.
this like that. So remember, for VLOOKUP, we were asking for the table array, the column index. Okay. In this case, we do not need that. If I put a comma, it is asking for the return array. Okay. What we are looking for, what are we returning? Okay. We
Manager.
want the manager. Okay. Then I lock that. Okay. If you click enter, for example, you're going to get this stuff. I don't know whether you have gotten that.
Hey, come up and again, mwalimu.
Okay, I'm repeating that. Just trying to see. Now, I want to repeat this. That when you do an equal sign, type X lookup like that, it is asking you for the lookup value. Okay, so this lookup value is the same, which is the operation, which is C2. Okay, and I think I explained the reason why you are using C2 and not C4, not C5, blah blah like that. I put a comma. It is asking for the lookup array. This lookup array, I'm going to obtain it from the lookup from the table array. Okay, and we have said there's some similarity between the lookup value, okay, and the lookup array. In other words, where am I going to get the lookup value that I've obtained? For example, we had operation, which is the C2. I'm going to get it from the department. So I'm going to highlight the whole of this. Then I just lock it. Okay. comma, the return array. When I'm using the lookup array, what am I getting? What am I anticipating to get? Okay, what am I anticipating to get is the manager. So I come and highlight the whole of this column. Then I lock it. Then I click enter. If I click enter, I'm going to get the same like the previous. Okay. Then I double click. I try to see if it is matching. Then you can tell it is literally the same. It is literally the same. Are we okay? I want to use Hlook. I want to use H.
Yangu imekataa.
Yes, please. Somebody with a question?
Yangu inaniambia type, not trying to type a formula.
I think you haven't put the formula well. Could be. I'm assuming that. Just try. But you got the one for VLOOKUP?
Yes, vizuri.
Yeah. So it should actually agree. There's somebody was calling. Is it Esther?
I have a question.
Yes,
I
yes.
have a question
Ariel, yeah.
regarding
Could it be just a minute? Could it be you are logging in using two gadgets? I think there's an echo.
uh,
Yeah, just come up. Just come up, Ariel. Just speak.
I was saying my VLOOKUP had a problem.
Okay. Sorry?
Hello?
You are?
My VLOOKUP,
Had an issue.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you're the one who told.
Like
You're the one
it
who
brought the names.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So like my issue is,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
first of all, it brought the names, all of them, without even double clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Then secondly, I never locked any cell or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it never brought any not applicable.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried using Xlookup,
Mm-hmm.
and it brought it the way it should be. So I don't know why my V is not working out.
Sorry. I'm trying to get your point. So the VLOOKUP, it brought the answers correctly without locking.
Yes. Then it also brought the names without me having to double click.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. What about the XLOOKUP?
The Xlookup it brought Esther, then I had to double click for the other names to appear.
Did you lock?
Yeah, I did lock.
Can you try without locking and see whether it will behave the way VLOOKUP does?
Okay.
Yeah, you can try that so that we see, is it the VLOOKUP that has an issue or is it the general functions? Just try, then you can let me know. Okay. As you're waiting for her to
Sure.
confirm that, somebody else, Esther, you had a question?
Mwalimu, I got lost along the way.
Sorry, where did you get lost? Let's look at the HLOOKUP. So literally, we have said the VLOOKUP, we have seen how we have seen how VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP works. And we want to look at how does HLOOKUP behaves. How does HLOOKUP behaves? So this is very simple. I want us to transpose, okay? I want us to transpose this table here, okay? Allow me to remove these funny colors. Allow me to remove these funny colors here. You are for illustrations. Allow me to remove. Good. Now, allow me to remove that. Now, in this case, so in this case, I want you to copy this table. Okay. Once you copy this table, I want you to look for n cell. For uniformity, let's look for K8. K8. K8 should be there. So put your cursor on K8. Are you on K8? I can do this with one of you. Daisy, can we do this with you? Is your cursor at K8? Daisy. Daisy?
K8.
Yes, Nancy? Are you on K8? Cell K8.
Yes.
K8.
Yes.
K8 ni iko hapo.
Yes. Niko hapo.
I want you to right click. So you have copied this table. Okay. Then now you're on K8.
Yes.
So right click. Read for me the options that you
Yes.
have. Kutoka juu kwenda chini. Options.
Iko paste options.
No. Read what you have.
Iko 1 2 3.
No. You have cut. You have
Iko cut, copy, paste options.
That's where I want us to be. So under paste options.
Iko paste P, values, formulas,
formula,
transpose.
So stop there. So
yes.
I want you to click that transpose. The transpose is on is it the fourth one?
Yes.
So click transpose.
Okay.
What has happened?
Imepanga horizontally.
Yes. So this table has been arranged horizontally. So in other words, we cannot use VLOOKUP to solve this question. Let's assume we don't have this. You cannot solve this. Okay, using a VLOOKUP. So it has to be
horizontal.
HLOOKUP. Okay. Now let's solve this. I want you to be keen because I'm going to use the locking part. Now, under the HLOOKUP, we come and say equal sign HLOOKUP. Easy. So the lookup value remains to be the same. So we have our C2 here. Okay. Comma. Our table array. Remember, you're not using Xlookup. You're using HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP, they tend to ask you for a table array. Okay. So we go to the department lookup. I highlight this table array. Are we okay?
Yes.
Correct. Now, my question is, if I put a comma, let's agree, we need to lock. So Daisy, this is where you come in. So I have K8 to P10. I don't know what you have. If you follow the instruction and pasted from K8, we should be having the same reference of the table. Okay. Now, K8 to P10. K8 to B10, I can lock it. So Daisy, how do you lock? It depends on if your machine is up to date or not. If it is not up to date, if it is up to date, you just click F4. Like now, mine, if I click F4, it is increasing the lighting. Okay. Then if I have to click, if I have to lock, I have to click Fn, which is next to control. Immediately after control, Fn, then I click F4. Fn, then F4. You will see dollars being introduced. Daisy, are we okay? This Yakuna, does it, yes?
Without pressing the shift button.
Sorry. I'm not getting you. Come up again. Daisy, come up again.
She's asking without using the shift button.
No, we don't use shift.
Shift.
We don't use shift. We only use Fn and F4. We are not using shift. So that's what I'm saying. Some machine will just accept F4 direct. But if your machine is not up to date, you have to click Fn, then F4. Daisy, have I explained?
Without touching the shift button.
Yes.
Just F.
Yes, you're not touching the shift. Have you seen the dollars?
Yes. But the dollar sign is between the
Okay, it's between
D7. Without
D7.
yes, before D7 and then after D7.
I don't know. Are you highlighting the first call, the first table or the second table, Daisy?
The second table.
Then you have D7.
No, I am trying using the lookup, not the lookup.
Oh, so you are still doing the VLOOKUP. So you are saying the dollar is in between
7.
between D7 only.
Yeah.
So you continue pressing it until it highlights the whole thing. So the dollar has to be between before B, before 2, before D, and before 7.
Ndivireza kale nolire kutunda falls bihai.
Is that okay,
Una
Daisy?
double.
Yes, it's okay.
Machine really no share.
Just try. If it doesn't work out, let me know. But I wish we could continue with you doing the Hlook, then you come back to do the VLOOKUP so that you don't get lost in between. Okay. Now, once we have that, please don't introduce the dollar after you have put a comma. It will not highlight, it will not put the dollars as expected. Okay. So always, immediately you highlight the table, just click F4 or F4 so that it introduces them automatically. So ensure the dollars are on each, the whole table. Okay. So in my case, it's K8 to P10. I put a comma. The row index number. Remember, when you're dealing with the VLOOKUP, it was not asking us for the row index number. It was asking us for
Column
column
index
index.
number.
So in this case, the manager is in which row?
2.
2. Correct. Comma. True or false? The answer is
False. Exact match.
yes. I click enter. If I click enter, I'm going to get a star. Then I do the same thing. I'll be in a position to get the same answer. Tuko sawa? Now, I want to use the Xlookup kwa horizontal table.
Mine says there's a problem with this formula.
Sorry, come up again. Yours says
There's a problem with this formula.
there must be something you have missed or you haven't put a comma. I want to display my formula.
It's
Try to compare with mine. Just see this formula here. Is it the same as yours? Just see.
Before two,
Mm-hmm.
my formula says
Mm-hmm.
employee data.
I think that's how you got it wrong. Because it should be department. Where we got the information from, it should be from the department lookup. Unless you mixed. Sometimes you can go back. For example, I know sometimes what you guys do. Sometimes once you're there, I can go back to maybe employee. I don't know why. So if I go back, you see it is bringing me the employee.
Okay.
So if you make a mistake of clicking, even if it is a question, so you see it is bringing me the question here. So even if I'm doing the right thing, then it is choosing the incorrect worksheet. It will not give you the correct answer. So ensure, just follow. It should be fine. It should be fine. Now let's try. So Chiri, maybe if you be stuck, let us know. The manager, the Xlookup. Now when you're using this, now in this case, we come and say the Xlookup. Daisy, let's know if we are lost. We pick you up. The lookup value is here. Okay. Uh-huh. So we are saying the X lookup. So the lookup value is there. So it is always the same. I go to the table array. Now in this case, it is asking for the lookup array. Lookup array is the department, is it? So highlight this. Not the whole table. Hapa ni range. Hiyo range peke yake. That's what you're looking for. Okay. Then I lock it. Okay. I put a comma. It is asking for the return array. Return array is the same. The manager. Okay. Then I lock it. I click enter. I should have the same. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Are we okay?
Iko sawa,
Kwa sawa.
lakini yangu bado nafanya manually.
It should be fine. It should be fine. It should be fine. I'm waiting for somebody with a question to ask. Somebody with a question to ask.
Mwalimu, I have a question on, I think, Xlookup.
Yes, please.
on that part of return, doing return array. Where do we use this? Because I remember there's a time we could come across a scenario where ishafika hapo after putting after working on the lookup value and the lookup array, then after doing the comma on the return array, you open the brackets and then you do a space and then you close the brackets and then you continue. When do we use that?
Come up again. When you're
working on Xlook, on the third nini. Okay, let me just tell somewhere Xlookup is equals to Xlookup. Okay, on the lookup array, you capture what you're supposed to capture on the lookup array and the lookup array. No, on the lookup value and the lookup array. So when it comes to return array, you do the opening quotes and then you do space and then you do the closing quotes and then you do a comma and you continue. When we've not found, what does that mean?
Good. So sometimes that's why you see if you see my part of my questions here, it is asking when you're using use if error stroke X lookup default values. Okay. So sometimes you might not get the exact value or the exact match. Okay. So it might give you either not applicable. So instead of having not applicable, you introduce the opening a space. Then so instead of it putting not applicable or not found, because Xlookup most of the time it gives you not found, it puts it to be a blank. Okay. So instead of not found, okay, or not applicable, the answer would be just a blank. Okay.
In our case scenario, for example, if you could not have the column for the manager, what?
Yes. So in case, so instead iandike not found inaweza kupatia the an empty cell. So that's the time you put the quotation mark in between. I think we'll do one in the course.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see on how the if error will work hand in hand with the Xlookup.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that. I think we should be fine. We should be fine. So please.
Hiyo yenye Roda anauliza siko kwa three-way matching kwa audit ama?
Yes, partly itakuja. Unajua mostly we use VLOOKUP, but still kwa three order match you can use either XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. So it is still fine there. Now, I want you to try number these two here. Sorry. Return region using employee name. Can you try this?
Number two.
Just try in any way. Let's see what you get. So you can create a column. You can create a column somewhere. Okay, you can create a column here. Okay, try to do that. Let's see what you're getting. As we be back in 10:05, I think 10:05 will be fine. Do that very fast. Yes. So that's what we want to confirm. So the lookup value, our lookup value would not be the department. It will be
region.
Employee 1. Comma. What is the table array?
Umechoose gani mwalimu? Umechoose employees.
Employee 1.
Employee name.
Yes.
Hauko.
Yeah. So what is the table array? Our table array will be this. I don't know whether it will bring problems, but let's select up to bonus what we had initially. Then Control Shift drop down arrow. Okay. Once we are there, it is you put a comma. It is asking for column index number. Column index number. Column index number. What are we looking for? It's for the region, is it? Our table array has
Region. Yes.
Our table array has started from employee name, department, region, quota, sales, bonus. So region, allow me to log this, sorry. Allow me to log that. Allow me to log that. Very important. Allow me to log that. Very important. So the column index number is number 3. Okay. Then the exact match. Are you okay?
Column index ni number 3.
I can repeat that. Yes, yes. Tuko sawa?
Not really.
Table array.
Sorry?
Table array from ID or his name.
This is Daisy. Daisy, come up again.
I am asking.
Uh-huh.
Table.
The table array. Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether it is me who is not getting her. But I'm presuming.
Askiki mwalimu. Askiki.
Okay. Yeah, I thought also so. But I hope she's asking where are we
Getting the table array.
the table array. So the table array,
Yes.
you highlight from B, column B to G. You can even highlight the whole of up to K, but the initial data was from B to G. Okay. So I cannot highlight from employee ID. Okay. So I will highlight from employee name, department, region, quota, sales, and bonus. Okay. The column index number is
You've said B to G.
yes, B to G.
Downward.
Yes, yes. Kuna mtu amepata kama mimi? Kuna mtu amepata kama mimi? Kuna mtu amepata Mombasa?
Nimepata.
Thank you. Let's know where you are lost. We assist you. Can I presume that we're okay?
Easy. Bado.
Can I repeat?
Kindly.
Okay. Now, what you're saying is simple. Equal sign, VLOOKUP. The lookup value, because we are using the employee to return the region. So this will be a lookup value. Okay. The table array, we have to highlight from the employee. like that, then down. Okay. Once you do that, we go back and see. So we can lock this. We can lock this. We can lock this. We can lock this like that. Then I put a comma. The column index number from the employee name, which is column 1, mean index 1, column index 1, department column index 2, region column index 3. So I put 3, comma, then I use exact match. I will still get Mombasa. Then I drag it. Are you okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? Are you okay? It's not a must you lock. You can even leave it because you're using within. Our table array is still where we are getting our data from. You can leave it. You can leave it. Lock it. Now, I want to leave a question. I want to leave a question. This question is this part here, the budget. Budget. So finance is 500,000, HR is 200,000, IT 750, sales is 600, operations 450. So I want you to come with a budget here. I want you to come with a budget. This budget you can use VLOOKUP. Okay. You can use Xlookup. You can use I want you to use the two. You can use Xlookup, VLOOKUP, and the Hlookup. Okay. To get this, to get for the budget. It's the same thing that we have done. Here it was to me, I'm still fine. It's the same thing. So in other words, now when you're using the VLOOKUP, instead of index 2, it will be index 3. Are you getting my point? Yes. So there's nothing complex. There's nothing complex here. Mtu ako na swali. Mtu ako na swali. Before I introduce something simple. Hmm. Are we okay? Are we fine?
Yes.
Yes. We better be fine. We better be fine. We better be fine. Now, I want us to find the total of each employee. Okay? The total is so simple. We use the formula. So we can have this cell plus the bonus. Okay? So I will get 18,960. Then I double click, I get the answer. I haven't complicated anything. Nimechukua two cells. No. So this cannot be this because this is not a basic. Then we add bonus. No. So this one you can leave it. Let's use the bonus. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this because this is like a commission. So I'm assuming for you to sell this, you're paid a bonus of this. Okay, we can literally use that. Are we fine? Are we fine? Are we fine? There's something I want to show you. Very simple and very fast. So I want us to find the total sales. I want us to find the total sales in Mombasa, in Kisumu, in Eldoret. I think our sister, I think it was Yenyen, who, that is the correct name, who told us how we can obtain the number of regions. Okay, you remember that? You remember what she said? You can use unique, or you can use unique, you can use
Duplicate.
or duplicate. Now, let's use unique. It's simple for us. Now, for example, if I want to use unique, I come and type equal sign unique like that. By the array is also the same as a range. So I come and highlight from Mombasa down. Okay, I click enter. You'll see I have 4 regions: Mombasa, Kisumu, Nairobi, Eldoret. Okay, it's only that. It's only this. It's only this. It's only this. It's only that. So now I want to find the total sales. Sold in Mombasa, sold in Kisumu, sold in Nairobi, and sold in Eldoret. Okay, how can I do that? Which function should I use? Can you recommend which function?
Count.
The total.
If.
Total.
Some if.
Some
Some.
if or some ifs.
If. Count if.
Count. Well,
Some if.
what are we counting?
Some if.
Some is or some if. Now let's use some ifs. Some range, we have it. Some range is the total cells. Get like that, comma. What is our criteria range 1?
I'm not seeing a presentation.
You're not seeing my presentation?
Imekuja.
Aye. So our sum range near cells. Our criteria range 1 tulisema ni the region. Si tunataka Mombasa. So the region like that, comma. Our criteria 1 is what? Is Mombasa. So we click enter. So how many do we have? How many cells do you have? It's around 2 million, 3.6 million. Okay. I don't know the people are seeing. What wame switch?
Kama.
Kama watu wame switch.
Mwalimu kidogo tu.
Okay. Please don't switch.
Mwalimu, I am saying there's a range. I'm supposed to select all the cells.
Yes. Yeah, you're supposed to select the whole. Because how? I can repeat for you. Let me repeat this. Now, what you're saying is do an equal sign, some ifs like that. So the sum range, you come and highlight the whole of the cells like that. Mpaka chini. Okay. Then I can lock this. I want to lock because I want to use what I think it is Mercy was showing us. So criteria range 1 is one the regions. So I come and highlight the regions. Then I lock it, comma. Now, instead, if I want to drag, instead of doing for Mombasa, then I come for Kisumu, then I come for Nairobi, then I come for Eldoret, because these names, I got them from what I think Yenien told us, is you can for you to get the specific and the unique.
Mwalimu, I'm not seeing your screen.
Yeah. Somebody who is not seeing again?
I think
Should be a network.
Could be. I'll try to minimize. Is it visible?
Yeah. Okay now.
Good, thank you. Now, so instead of going and referring Mombasa here, I can refer it here. I'll give a caution, okay, after this. So then I click enter. If I click enter, then I can drag comfortably. Okay, I'll get the same answer. So instead of going repeating the same summies for Eldoret, then I come and click Eldoret from this, I can easily do this. One of the disclaimer is, I want you to see. Sorry? Somebody saying something?
Mwalimu, mine giving me. Mwalimu,
Yours is giving you?
mwalimu.
Yes, I'm getting you. Okay. Maybe let me finish, then maybe I'll talk to you Nancy in a short while. So please.
Yes, mwalimu. You getting me?
Yes.
Mwalimu.
Uh-huh.
Mine?
Yes.
Yes, mwalimu. Mine is giving me hash value.
Hash values. I think you haven't used
Yes.
the formula well. Or I will show you just a little bit, Nancy. What I'm saying is ensure you get the formatting from these figures here. For example, if you forget to write an A, for example, for Mombasa, you not get the result. Because when the exam will be looking for Mombasa without A from this region, it will not get any figure. So it will be a 0. Okay? So ensure you get all the information from this. That's why you can use the duplicate or you can use the unique for you to get these figures. Hi. Alternatively, I don't know. Unique. I'm trying to see what could have happened with Nancy. I don't know what could have happened with Nancy. I don't know what could have happened with Nancy. I want to see this.
Mtu anakuwa sijui.
I want to see what could have happened, but still it is working. Now, Nancy, I'll see with you what could have transpired. I think up to there, are we okay? Except Nancy, whom I'm catching up with.
for me, I'm okay.
For you, you're okay. Mercy, thank you for that. Now, so literally, I wanted to introduce that so that when we are meeting next, we want to look at the pivot. Okay? Which
Yes.
we use this to confirm. Pivot is very essential when it comes to BDA. So we are going to discuss that, I think, next week.